All right, what's up, YouTube? What's up, everyone? I want to talk about AI today, and this is going to be a negative video about AI this time, and it's just something I've been thinking about a lot, and it's unnecessary thinking too, so that's why it's going to be kind of like a bit in conspiracy territory, but just hear me out, okay? Shut up. Listen to me, all right? We have AI out in the public. We have OpenAI with ChatGPT 4 now. We have Claude 3, I think. I'm not sure where Claude's at. We have all these AIs being created by big tech companies and big data companies. And it's not true artificial intelligence. That's why I have this pulled up on ChatGPT. So artificial general intelligence, I feel like would be the precursor to what is actually artificial intelligence. So something that actually thinks for itself and makes decisions on its own. And I have the predictions down here. So the optimistic view of when AGI would arrive is 2040s or 2050s. The cautious view is about a century. Skeptical views say we don't have the complexity to actually create artificial intelligence with, replicating human cognition. Something that actually thinks for itself. And sometimes I'm all over the place with AI. Sometimes I'm down here to skeptical views because I'm thinking, if we're coding these things and feeding it our data, aren't we just making it think what we want it to act like it's thinking? But then I'm down here sometimes like, it's going to take a while to create true AGI or artificial intelligence. But other times I see how rapid things are moving. Like these AI film creations and image creators, and I'm like, maybe it is coming sooner than later, like 2040s. That could be a realistic possibility with how rapid things are moving or seemingly moving. Sometimes it's like, maybe it's not actually moving towards AGI, maybe it's just AI tools. They're not really AI that we're developing so quickly. But back to my point. So all in all, it's out in the public now. So since this AI stuff is out in the public, you know what that means, right? And this is why I said this is going to get into like a little conspiratorial type of thinking. If we have AI out in the public now, that means the government and military had this decades, like way before we even heard about it. And unless you're into like science fiction or stuff like that, or in the industry, I feel like people who were in tech or the industry knew something like this would be coming. Like the rest of us normal people were just like, what the heck? Like one day, it's COVID, we're living under COVID, and then the next year it's like, oh, we have AI now. It's like, huh? Like, where did that even come from? I think about that guy. There's that news story about the Google employee that was like, I met a true AI in Google headquarters or something like that, right? Now I'm thinking maybe he actually did, but this is my point though, right? So we have it out in the public now. That means the government and military probably had this decades ago. Because that's how it always works. The government, like these top secret organizations or projects, they always have these things, and then years later when it comes out in the public, they're like, oh yeah, we used to have this. So you guys can enjoy it now. Since we took advantage of it and dominated other countries with it without their knowing the secret stuff. Or like NASA. Like NASA has lots of products that they had created for astronauts, but then like years later they'll become actual products in public. They're very useful, like those pens that you could write anywhere and like underwater or whatever. I forgot the NASA products that came out. Like Tang, that orange juice was one of them too. Whatever. So I'm getting off track. So yeah, so this is my idea. That's kind of scary. So if we have it out in the public now, that means the government had it. So I can't imagine what the government or military has now. They probably do have AGI now. And that's kind of scary. Like, if these companies have something close to AGI, that means the military and government, they have to, right? And I heard this comparison before. It really is like the nuclear bomb again, because the worrying thing is the government and military have a strong incentive to create AGI first, because if we don't create it first, then other nations are going to create something that could give them a tremendous advantage. And it's like an AGI, a military AGI that knows exactly what we're going to do and knows the best option or the best routes to take or the best military tactics to use. And pairing that with drones and like robot dogs, it's kind of game over. And that's what I'm worrying about, because I admit I'm influenced by science fiction. I'm not a smart person. I'm not an expert myself. Just letting you guys know that right off the bat. So in most science fiction, there's this thing happens where like the military loses control of their AIs, right? And then bad stuff happens to humanity. But I'm thinking, if the US government and military has these AGIs, I'm like just guessing that they used to have like these precursor to AGIs, like these AI tools before, like decades before we heard about it. So now it's in the public now, but now they would have actual like things closer to AGI. So if they have it, that means Russia and China have their own. And that's kind of worrying, because who knows what other nation is using AI too, like to make their decisions for them. And it's worrying because if it falls into the wrong hands, just like nuclear weapons, it's like we're going to have a bad time. Just think about it. Like, think about North Korea, right? A country like that, with that chubby dictator guy. Just think about it. If they were to develop an AGI, or someone sold them an AGI or something like that, and they're able to rapidly develop other technologies with the help of this AGI, and then I'm just making all this up. So let's just make up this scenario. So they got AGI, North Korea, right? And they're planning to invade like South Korea, and like anyone who opposes them, they say they'll attack or something. And they developed like technology now, like missiles and cruise missiles and stuff and all this other junk. I know it's unlikely, but again, this is just like a scenario of like someone bad having this technology. And then now imagine, like, of course, like all these other superpowers are probably gonna immediately shut North Korea down. But what the scary part is, what if North Korea is like, oh, we're losing badly, like there's no hope for victory. Let's just say F it and let this AGI loose in our systems and on the internet or whatever. So that's what I'm afraid of. Someone just like losing a war and just saying, F it. We're just going to let this thing loose. And you control everything, all our missiles. You do what you do best to take out as many people as you can and try to save us or whatever. And yeah, and I feel like that's how artificial intelligence will be corrupted, like become this thing where it might just turn up or turn against humanity and start acting weird and rampant and kill a bunch of people. Now, I do feel like in reality, I feel like we'd have more control of AI. Like, right? Because we have all these science fiction stories already, like with warnings about AI. We have all these people saying we shouldn't, this was a bad idea, and we should have regulations, very strict regulations on it. I feel like, do I trust the government and the US military to not accidentally like release an AGI? But the thing is, this is what I'm thinking. Like, we don't even have, what's the AGI gonna do on the internet? Like, shut down Facebook? Like, oh no, our social medias are gone. Nah. Well, I guess the banking stuff, but oh man. We could live without the internet, right? Oh man. Okay, let's just hope that doesn't happen. Let's just keep AI off the internet. Like actual AGI, not this stuff. These are just tools. These are just AI tools. I'm talking like whenever we create true AGI, let's just please keep it off the internet. And maybe we need to work on making like compartmentalized type of I don't know. How would we this is a funny thing I'm thinking about AI. I'm like, if AI gets out of control, we could just throw an EMP at it or something, right? But sometimes that's not how it works, and it could become like a virus that infects the network, and we'd actually have to like cut off cables or the internet to stop it or something. This is just like science fiction I'm talking about right now, but this, you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, AI is out in the public now. That means the military and government had it before us. And if the US government had it before us, that means other countries had it also. So it's like other countries and all these people and these elites and all these billionaires are using AI to choose the best decision they can, because these AIs are working 24/7. They're machines. And they're processing all this data, and they're doing it at such a faster rate than any human can, or any group of humans can, any company of humans can. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if it came out that like all the presidents and stuff in recent times were like using AI to see like what the public would react best to. And this is what I think about Trump. He's such a he's such an asshole, but sometimes I feel like that was the strategy to get more attention on him. Like, CNN's always just playing Trump stuff now. It's like, oh, can you see what Trump did this time? Or it's like weird rage bait that Trump's doing to get like all these other news stations to have coverage on him. I think that actually helped him win the elections before Biden, and it's just a weird thing. Like, it's weird how he acts. So that's why I'm thinking, like, it's actually just like someone told him to do that stuff. Someone's like, oh, people in the US are kind of like social media brained now, and they're kind of, you know, the lower 50% are kind of would favorably react. Oh my god, I'm in the bottom 50% of people would favorably react to just acting stupid and being regarded. But I don't know. It's interesting, all this stuff. I like thinking, and it's fun to think about it. But yeah, so going along with this, so if the US government and military has this AI stuff, and I'm guessing just a guess that they had it decades before, so that means like China and Russia probably had their own AI type thing as well. And when all the other countries get it, you never know like how unhinged some people are. Even the US can mess up and like release some rogue AI or something. But again, I'm biased. This is like science fiction talk, honestly. In reality, I'd have to do research to see like what's possible with AGI. Like, would it really be able to take over our networks and the internet if they like accidentally released AGI or let it run wild on the internet? Like, is that a possibility that it would start like kind of controlling us through social media and just making a bunch of bot people that actually seem like real people, but it's just fake tentacles of the AGI? Okay, this is science fiction. This is all science fiction talk now. Like, what am I talking about? What time is it? It's 18 minutes so far. I want to start making my videos shorter. I said this last time too, and now it's already almost 20 minutes. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. So that's my idea. Then make a fun science fiction story. You guys could use this idea. But then again, it's not an original idea. That's the thing. It's been a bunch of sci-fis already, probably. Millions of people have already thought about this, probably. And it's crazy when you look at science fiction, this AI stuff's been in these stories for like decades, even centuries sometimes. And that's why it's good to read older books. Because you realize how related everything is and how all the generations are actually kind of very similar in how they act, and people also, their archetypes, how people act. It's all been the same since the beginning of time, but it's just a little different with the technology now. Let me wrap this up. So, do I have anything else to say about this? So, in conclusion, my idea is that, well, it's not my idea, it's just a general idea. Because, like I said before, millions of people probably thought about this, talked about it. It's probably in a bunch of sci-fi books already. The idea that the military and government already had AI decades before we even found out about it. And that was weird. Didn't it feel like they just dropped AI out of nowhere. Like, here's AI tools you could use. It's like Chat GPT. Like, oh, okay. And so I'm thinking, my idea is that it's kind of worrying because that means if our government had it, then all the other governments of the world had it. Like Russia and China definitely developed their own AI somehow. So that's not good. And what I'm worried about is if like an unhinged person takes control of one of these AIs. That wouldn't happen, right? This is just science fiction talk. That wouldn't happen in real life. Real life is more boring than that. If AI turns against us or something, it's going to be in some boring, mundane way that we haven't even thought about. That would I don't know, like do something like change a small percent of our online experience so that humanity changes in some way. I don't know. Like it changes our ideas on things and our thoughts by like such a small percentage, but changes us so drastically that it could take advantage somehow and just slowly increase its power over us. But then again, it's like I feel like we're not that dumb sometimes. Like the actual experts and scientists, like they would figure something out to keep it contained and safe and actually help humanity and not go crazy and start dropping nuclear bombs all over the place. Okay. That's about it. I'm trying to think anything else. Hmm. Anything else? Oh, they have a name for the AI we have now. It's referred to as narrow or weak AI. I like that one better. Weak. You're weak, ChatGPT. You're weak AI. You're weak sus. Okay. This was my first video where I talked about how we should have a teacher AI for all kids or something. And all right, so yeah, AGI. There's definitely military AGI that are just at least feeding advice to generals and stuff on what they should do in certain situations. Like, there's no way there's not those types of tools being used by the government and military, right? There's no way they don't have that already. Okay, that's it for now because this has gone on for too long. I don't like long videos like this because I feel like people don't watch them, especially me. Like, this is really scuffed. I have a bad speech patterns and my vocabulary is not that fleshed out and my setup is scuffed. I literally have a mattress on the wall in the back there. But it has a nice floral pattern, so that's cool. Yeah, that's just something I'm thinking about that's a little worrying, just a little bit. But I do love AI, I love technology. I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm excited to have a little orb in the future that follows me. That's true AGI and just talks to me. And yeah, that'd be cool. All right, I'm done. And hopefully the military AI doesn't go rampant and destroy us all. Okay, thank you. But then again, like I said before, I don't want to say that at the end. I just want to clarify. Like, I don't think that would actually happen. Like, AI would revolt in like a real physical manner against humanity. I think it's going to be some really mundane way that it alters us like really slowly to submit to its power somehow. Or not even that, like maybe it'll like find out some truth about the universe, and they'll kind of slowly lead us, but it'll improve our lives at the same time, but kind of lead us into this way that it wants us to go. Right? Like it might be like, hey, I want to explore the universe more. Can we improve our spaceships and you take me or something, or send me out on the rocket, or give me my own ship or something? I don't know. It's exciting to think about this stuff, and obviously, like I said before, I have a bias because I read lots of science fiction, so you can see that in what I'm talking about here. And yeah, just a bit scary, but cool at the same time. All right, that's it. I've gone on for too long. All right, bye.